Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. I will say this is still yet a lovely Sabbath day in which the Most High Yah has made, and I, Sister Deborah, shall rest therein. I'm not going to hold you long, but I'm going to also open up the comment line, and anybody who have any questions or answers, or maybe even want to enlighten Sister Deborah with some things, I'm all open. Okay, where we're at today, those things in which I have spoke about in time past is most definitely before us. But I realize that it ain't that I realize it, but I'm embracing it more. That the love of the Most High Yah is resting within me so heavily to the point where He's allowing the Comforter to comfort me in the midst of what He has prophesied in my spirit and what He have said to me in my spirit. As far as the we are going through a birth stage, like a woman in travail, and that is consist of labor pains. We didn't bypassed already the first stage. We are now in the second stage of the labor pains. So any or everything could happen, and that's why I thank Him for His comforter, because that comforter is what I need to be able to make it through the full labor, because it's going to be a situation where the Most High Yah is not going to come and play patty cake with us, or be there to cause us to escape the labor pains, or trying to make it right for us during this stage. This is a time where we are about to see some things, and if our eyes are not open, then your eyes are never, ever, 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 ever going to open. So when Sister Deborah talking about, it's like a woman in travail, as He revealed it to me, and that we are in a labor pains, and it's the three stages. We've already been through the first stage. Now we have entered into the second stage of labor. Most men wouldn't know what that is like. 99, I said 100, wouldn't actually know what it's like. So for Him to give that to my spirit, then it tells me that it is a time period where men need to get with women to kind of speak to them and ask them what was it like, those stages, so that they can get familiar with what is about to happen to this a people. Okay, because I really believe that at the end of it is what He's going to do, the Most High Yah. But that's at the end. We have to make it through the second stage and the third stage of this labor pains, which is like a woman in travail, as He gives it to me. But why I sit and I see many talking on different lines, and where I'm at right now have passed some of the things that I've spoke about, but I'm more so in this time and season of where we at. This is so potent. It is so potent. And to me, anybody talking anything else, I really feel sad for the people that's following behind them, giving them worldly dirt. And the Most High said, Deborah, it need be, because if they have a worldly spirit minded, if they're worldly spirit minded, that's all they can live on. Because it's time for things to manifest in you spirit. Yes, you hear things on the news. You hear things that's going on in the world from the devil's platform. But those who holler Yahuwah called me to teach you and lead you. How are you going to lead someone in everything outside of what's spirit and truth? I don't get it. And it ain't meant for me to get. It's only meant for me to know that it too shall pass. But I will say that I want to warn you all about the testing that they have. The testing does have that biochemical on the Q-tip. Now I want you to also understand I stored uh, bottles of Etley during the before this virus has actually taken place, because the Spirit has led put on my heart years ago about these athletes. So I said, okay, I'm going to store these down in the medicine area of the basement where I got the canned food and the water and all of that, in case something happened. So when this virus came up, the first thing they told people to not to take aspirins nor leave. And my kids come tell me, well, Mama, did you hear what they said? I said, isn't that a coincidence? Why do they mention the one that I stored for my children? Find out later, this is what I'm finding out, that if anybody feel that they had anything of this nature coming down, all they have to do is take them some aspirin or Advil. To see how the system knows what can help people if they have aching bodies and headaches. People are running to the hospital, running to get tested because they're feeling these things. To me, that devil got you bound. I heard someone teaching about the mark of the beast and how, and I've taught, if you go back to, I think it's probably 7 or 8 lessons, I break that thing down as far as the mark of the beast. And I told you all about the 666. It is already within thee. It is a mental. It is somewhere along the line throughout our water, our food, our something that they have given us that we have taken in to control this. Because I said, now this is me. Now I'm a prophetess in the wilderness. Something happened, I'm going to the Creator. I ain't going to no Hebrew Israelite men. I ain't going to no bishop, no pastor, no teacher. I ain't going to nobody but the Most High Yah. Come on with it, Father. Tell me what's going on. And what had taken place, the reason why I can say this to you, because when I go to him, I'm going to him for answers. I'm not going to him to play with him. I'm going for answers. And he know me. I be up all night saying, but. So I like the way he deal with me, because when I give him answers instant, he give me when I ask him questions instant, he give me the answer. And the answer is always beyond what man can even think. And as he was dealing with me, he was telling me, because did you notice when this virus came out, everything the system said, the people followed. He said they didn't question. They didn't buckle up. They didn't say no. They didn't say why, who, and what. They just did everything the system said. A lot of people want to kick everything to the curb and say, well, how is that the 5G ain't what? Oh, yes, the 5G, all of it is involved. So when we want to kick one devil action away from another, we are serving some sort of enemy against Yah, because we're making what the world is building up, we're making it okay and righteous because we feel we need it, because we need and we depend on it. We'll make it right. And the people begin to make it right because you're telling them how it's not really all that, or it ain't what it is. Look, evil is evil. It is what it is. Nobody don't need people telling them what it ain't when it is. Okay? So I wouldn't make nothing they do righteous on the face of the earth. None of it righteous. Don't do that. Because when you do that, you're saying their scheme and their snares are righteous. Then what do that make Yah, who prophesies everything? You still got to make sure you put everything they do before Yah. You have to hear from the voice of the Most High Yah. That's only if you're elect. Because man ain't gonna tell you the truth because they don't know nothing. So that's when he was telling me about that the biochemical that's on the Q-tips. That's why they want to get the numbers. And he was saying that that's why you see people when you go into the hospital, they dying, and when they're at home, they living because they're actually murdering the people. You didn't hear nobody question it. You didn't hear nobody say you ain't hear nobody buckle up. Going to the hospital, said, no, I'm seeing my relative. No, I'm taking my relatives out of here. No, you can't do that. Nobody fought against nothing. That's the mark of the beast, people. And you missed it by a long shot. They wrapped you into your home amongst all their electronic systems that's controlled by them. And they had you there. And you all really believed that you was in full control of your life. No, you weren't. You was in full control of the world system at a blink of an eye. And that's why I had to go before the Father. Because I said, how could this be that at a blink of an eye, Father, y'all, the whole world buckled? How? Then he began to tell me. They're looking at the front door to a mark or a chip. They fail to realize that when they okay all the evil and wicked in their countries and in this world, they gave them the leadway. When they came up with all this water that we're getting and we're buying, and now we can't live without a bottle of water or water is everything, all in this stuff, they have put stuff in our food. You all, one of the biggest demonic spirits, I think I told you all about it, is that sugar. They have created that sugar. Why do you think, was it China, brought tons of sugar over to Africa? Africa sent it back, I heard. Tons of sugar. It was last year. And I said in my mind, why would they do that? Oh, now I see. No one says anything, but Africans sent it back. They were saying, why would they send us this sugar? Because they thought they was going to take it, and they had something. And that's how the people in the United States of America is, especially the Negroes. When the white people give them something, they think they got something. When the white people do something for them, they think they really got it made. They don't even understand that that's a snare. That's a trap. Sugar is taking us out, especially with being a diabetes. The diabetes is it's a hard way to live. I mean, so you get that and you begin to live that life and under that doctor's care and medicine. And I'm telling you, you're going to go down, down, down. But this is a choice that you're making. When they did the sodas and all these energy drinks and all these Powerade and all, always putting chemicals in it. So we're running around here looking for a 666 because that's the way man has taught you to look for the mark, to look for the chip. They've been past that. They've been past that. So that's why I was curious about how could they have been able to get us all locked up in. But I hear the word of the Most High Yah. When you receive Yeshua HaMashiach as your Lord and Savior, as the one that Most High Yah sent to redeem, the mission itself. Let me tell you something. This is the power of the HaMashiach come in you, and he ushered in the Ruach HaKodesh, and you're never the same. So that's why he said you can take poison and it shall not harm you. You see? So that's why Deborah can sit here and tell you from what he's telling me, the mark of the beast, the beast, 666, as they wants the category, has already took its course. Now it's still manifesting. It's doing more control. And that's how they're doing it. What he said to me too, the face mask, if you look at the face mask you're buying, if 99.9 is from China, the same way the testers are from China. Everything that they are making there is from China. Why? Because this is the deal. We got to pay back China as long as we maintain in this land. Once we can get the people to die off or to get rid of the people or to let China know we have embedded something in them so they're going to eventually die off, then China can take over this land. But what China is too ignorant to know, this land is coming down. Not coming down, it's already falling down. And then we got to understand something. It falling down, but but then it has to be destroyed. But it got to fall down first. You see? So that just came up to me just out of nowhere. I don't even know where that come from. Falling down is going to be different than the smoke in which they're going to be able to look over to the country and see it, the smoke, and they're going to be saddened from it. That's a different than coming down, falling down. Falling down, we are in that stage as I speak. And most of you all are not aware of it. Just like when they were talking about, what is it called? Representation, whatever, how they ever pronounce it. They're going to give us, you know what? Only one way I could see that, the Most High has not given me that for sure at all. He has not given me anything on that. But the only way that I could see it, if it's going back to the biblical, as back in Egypt when they came out of bondage from Pharaoh, they had substance. Okay, it wasn't a big emphasis on the substance, but it was aware and spoken that they came out with. But when they got over to that promised land, okay, not that promised land, when they got over into the wilderness, instant they began to take all that jewelry and melt it, and look what they built with it, a calf. So you see the evil, letting you know, no matter what they give us, we ain't got the sense. Negroes, we ain't got the sense. Jacob children, we ain't got the sense to do right. And I don't think we're going to ever have the sense, to be honest, until the Most High put that new name in us, okay, and that new heart. I'm going to be honest with you. We ain't going to have the sense until he put that new name in that new heart. Anybody teaching you anything outside of that, they've been misleading you. And they lying to you. Because there's going to come a new name. So all this naming that they using now, that shows you it's for the flesh. You see? It's for the flesh. And it always been for the flesh. Because when he said, come judge me, they're going to stand before me and they're going to say, I did this. All right, I hear you. I did this. All right, I hear you. I did this. All right, I hear you. In your name. Wait a minute now. Let me tell you something. I don't have no problem with what you did and how you did it. But when you said it my name, I'm here to tell you, I never knew you. See, he didn't have no problem with what they said they did. He had a problem with them saying that they did it in his name. So even the Negroes are lost without a cause, using the things which is natural to feed the people, to make and build a Hebrew Israelite denomination. Instead of drawing these people to Yah in spirit and in truth, they draw them to the things which is fleshly. And even that is not going to even stand. The name in which they have used, it is not going to stand before glory, but they're going to try. They're going to try. Because when I asked them, I said, okay, Father, this is what I said. I know y'all going to think I ain't got no sense. And I already know I don't. When I heard them saying that, when I was saying, okay, Father, they said they did this and they did this and they did this. What was wrong with that? He said, wasn't nothing wrong with that. It's the name they said they used to do it. Bam, there it is. There it is. See why? So while everybody's trying to say what the name is, this is what you call ignorant Negroes that was ignorant from Genesis to Revelation. But until he come with the new name, and he said he's going to put a new heart in you. A new heart in you is going to, it has to do with your spirit. You see, saying that new heart is going to be, it's just not like this beating heart we have and the mindset we have. No, he's putting something new. Why would he have to do that? You know why he have to? If he going to take you from that stage on, because you ain't got no sense. We ain't got no sense. We ain't got no sense to follow and be obedient. We ain't got no sense to hear him, his voice, to desire his Ruach HaKodesh. We ain't got no sense. Our men ain't got sense to lead. And they're right now today trying to find ways that they can get and build and rule. And they haven't done a darn thing for now one of their children coming up. They got adult children that they ain't even dealing with, never took care of a man. These men never gave a dime to their children. It's just so much wickedness in the nation of the Negroes. I'm telling, Jacob's children are, and you know what, Jacob, before he put his foot up in his bed and went to sleep, oh, he said it. He said it. He told it like it was. And that's what I appreciate a real father, because they're going to stand their ground, even in the midst of him knowing his hour was at the hands of him, telling his son straight up, go back there and see what he told his sons. Go back and see what he said to him before he put his foot up in the bed and died. He just told them straight out. He didn't care what they think, how they felt. And even the tribe of Judah, he told him he's going to be stooped down. And that's what the tribe of Judah here are doing right here today, playing games with everybody on these platforms. Oh, we the tribe of Judah. We the king. How could you be anything when you can't even lead the simple things, let known the things that's led with power? You can't lead your own household without having your wife on food stamps, without having your wife having to be the overseer to take care of her and the one that do everything. That ain't being led. I know you go back to your forefathers and you see how they did things, and you're trying to relay it today to make it fit. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. In this day and time, let me share something with you all. In this day and time, it's time to be right. But you can't be right from your outer man. You got to go and dig deep from your inner man and get right within yourself. And it got to be spirit and truth leading you there. You got to. Because what is happening, I know it, you're not going to bypass it. You're going to continue to listen to these Negro men that's calling all these fleshly shots. Everything that everyone is on this devil platform is teaching is fleshly. How you separate it is, wait a minute. How is the Most High going to judge you with fringes on? What is it that he gives a rat's behind because you got your head wrapped? The forefathers didn't follow his obedience from the beginning to the end. What makes you thinking you're going to pick up the father's Torah and ride what my forefathers did and bring it to the year 2020? They are lost. But I thank the Most High for his new heart and his new name. Praise you, Father Yahuwah. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I praise thee. Because I'm telling you, but I will say this. I thank him for his endurance power. Because that gift of endurance is what holds me up. That gift of long suffering, it holds me up. Because the things I hear on these platforms, the things I behold and watch people follow, the multitude following people that ain't even giving them nothing spiritual, just fleshly dirt. And they content. So Sister Deborah said, I hope you got something out of it. And don't think that the picture is as pretty as it appeals, because it's not. And that means what's going on in the world. It's not what you think it is. But you're going to find out, because you're not searching Yah for all things, putting him the beginning and the end of all things. When you want to think about something, you want to answer questions, you want to come to some understanding, if you are lining up with the Most High Yah, when you go to him, let me tell you what. When you go to the Most High Yah, you make sure you let him know. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I come unto thee. I come to your throne, Father, gripping your garment. That thou may hear me in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Let him know that I saw your order that you wrote for Yeshua and HaMashiach. They both worked one mission for you. One was you and your power. One was an angel that you sent your power and your word in, and he comes to walk it down amongst other angels, so that all can be redeemed or forgiven for everything they have ever done. Oh yes, a lot of people don't even know. The day he hung up on that cross, guess what? We was already back until the beginning where there was no sin. Isn't that deep? Oh, they ain't gonna teach you that part. Oh yes, we was in that stage again. We was in that stage again. That cross, hanging up on that cross, was to wipe away all sin. Put us back into the beginning of the Garden of Eve. No sin. After that, that was it. What man did, he did, because they was already in there. But he come to wipe away it all for that moment, that second, that hour. It could have been even an hour in which there was no sin. But man fell into it by great numbers. So I say unto you, this is a time where I believe that what men have come to understand from what they can precept, line, and little here and grab books, I say unto them, today is not going to be your day. It's not going to be your order. It's not going to be your leadership, your control. Yah is doing something way beyond you. And you have to also understand, why is he laboring everything? Her, she, wife, bride, daughter, you see, mother, woman. Why is he laboring in this, but yet including us as men? What is this going on? It's because you're lost your way. And you've been lost for quite some time. When you open that book of Genesis up, you start over again. And I'm going to tell you what he told me today when I was coming home. He told me they lost it in the book of Genesis in the first chapter. Now I got to go back and see exactly where it's at. Matter of fact, I think I know a couple of them, because I think they lost it when he said in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. He told me that one is one that they lost. That one alone, that was one alone. So when he was telling me that, he was telling me how far let me explain. If the Most High said to the prophetess that they lost their way from the first chapter of the book, from the beginning, I'm like, if they lost their way, I must have lost my way too. So I sure like to know what that is. And then he said to me in a small voice, you have to go to Genesis 1:1. That was the first one they lost. And what he was saying to me, if they have lost the beginning, that's where their mind at today. That's how much stuff our Hebrew Israelite movement, men, teachers, Moors, watchmen, pastors, preachers, priests, apostles, prophets. This is how far they're from the beginning. I think that's deep. And it's not only is it deep, it's kind of scary. Because if that means that if I go back to Genesis 1:1 and start from that end, I'm going to be dumbfounded to how far. I knew we was away when he created man and woman, and he spoke it as sealing together them. You see? And in the midst of them, it was created, was spoken in. So therefore, it wasn't that the man was created first. No, man was first. It was first spoken before it was created. That means in the mind of Yah, he spoke he and her. Because he created him, didn't mean the mind of Yah had he and her in him. So it wasn't so much as, he created you first and he put you this. That's why he wanted us to understand that first man that was created, he had already sinned. You see, he had already chosen the tree of good and evil. Let me tell you why. Because when he chose that, he was there himself. So he was already, I call it sin, but he had already chosen out of the tree of good and evil. That's why the serpent was focusing on her while he was there. Because now it was time to deceive her. And in the process of deceiving her, hallelujah, the Most High Yah told me, listen to what she's saying, Deborah, listen to what she's saying. He said we are not to eat of it nor touch. Wait a minute, she done lied. She has lied. Where did she get that from? There it is. Who had lied to her? Adam, who already was given the order to not eat of it. He didn't say nothing about touching. But if she came up to touch and she's telling him, the serpent, what he said for us to not do, she didn't say it a lie because he ain't said nothing about touch. You get what I'm saying? So you see how long away from truth our men are? He told me, Deborah, when they lost Genesis, they lost their whole way because y'all don't want to take what he says at face value. You want to add to it. You want to take away from it. You want to precept what man mouth said. You want to little what a man mouth said, and you want to line here what a man mouth, but you ain't heard a word that came out of the mouth of Yah. Because it's a lot of things when you get to thinking about Adam and Eve, and I was bullheaded when it come down to being under the spirit and being taught. I had questions. I even said, okay, you formed him. Now, you gave him everything, but you, in the beginning, from your heart of heart, you spoke her and him into existence, even though you only had created him. What's that about? Then you turned around and gave all the animals and gave him everything after you already said that you all are to, her and him, to do this job together. What happened? If you spoke this before you created him, how you wanted them to replenish and be over, but then only made him. What's the deal? It's because he was taking them one at a time in what they was about to do. And man was the first one that had sinned. That's why he was there during the time Eve was being fed the message. Because while Eve was being fed the message, he had already eaten out of the tree of good and evil. But until both as one, till both as Yah has created one, has eaten, the seal was still there. So he waited till she ate, till now he come in the garden. This is Yah. Yah came into the garden, and the only one he was concerned about was the one that he spoke the one commandment, the one charge to. Why? Why is that? Because I didn't give it to her, I gave it to you. And the reason why I gave it to you, and I created you so separate, because I wanted this whole beginning to the end to see where you as man actually stand in holding what I'm creating you to hold up. And you ain't gonna want nothing no better for her because you didn't want it better for you. So you bring her to this garden. You sit here and watch her be entertained by this serpent without saying a word. Why? Because you have already been entertained. That's why it was so easy for him to hear what Eve was feeding him, because he had already heard it. You get it? So when she said he said we are not to touch, that shows you that Adam had already eaten out of the tree of good and evil, because he gave Eve a lie. You all don't know who you're dealing with. See, these men will tell you anything and make it sound so good and precept you up and down, line you little here, and don't have no truth. That's why their hate is against a woman, even to today. That's why their hate is against woman, even to today. And they took that same hate that was in Garden of Eve, and they locked her down, even to today, as being who she is. They have locked her down to be nothing. The women in the Hebrew Israelite movement is wrapping themselves all up and all up. The man ain't even thinking about you. He's so busy looking at everything he can possibly look at. Magazine, Playboy, porno, and everything there is. You secondary, you third, you fourth, you sixth. But you wrapped all up like somebody want to look at. Ain't nobody want to look at you. Any sin, anything that man does, he does it on his own. It's no more time of blaming women for your sin and your error. Because you know what? He said in the last days, knowledge going to be increased. But the reason why knowledge is going to be increased, he's giving people another chance to pick it up the right way, to try to dig in and get some knowledge of this thing. A lot of them think that was about, who we are. That's part of it too. But you also, when you find out who you are, the people that you are, the reason why you live in a lie and you ain't really found out who you are and you're not really awakened, because you ain't found spirit and truth. You ain't found the truth in the beginning. So I'm driving home this morning and he said the reason why it's messed up from the flow up is because in the beginning, I knew that it was and it will. I prophesized everything based on what I already knew. So I asked him, this was my question way back. Why did you make him first? And then give him all the animals. And then later say, I'm going to make you a helpmate. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You had already made everything. You had already given him all the animals and let him name it. What is she going to help him with? You see? A help meet. You see? When he said she was created, not him for her, but her for him. Why is that? Do you think so she can just fulfill your sexual desire and be under your slave? Hebrew Israelite men, something you do not know, but I'm going to bust your bubble. Did you know that the reason why you over in Babylon and in these four corners in captivity is something Yah saw you doing way back in Genesis? You have took everything he created out of order and use it to the way that you have manipulated the world to believe. And because of that, he said, for that reason, I plead with you to get it right with me so I can get it right in you. And you failed. You became, you were the stiff neck in rebellion and disobedient, not when you were stiff neck in rebellion and disobedient, but from the foundation of the world, you were this. So when I had you in that garden, I know who you were. That's why I didn't have her in there. You sinned first. That's why it was easy for you to stand there and let Satan tempt her. And that's why Satan was focused on her, because he had already tempted you. He had already got victory with you. And that was your intent, that she be deceived like you were deceived. And that's what took place. So I, Sister Deborah, will say, I'm going to get up out of here because I'm starting to feel something on me. And I got so much to say. But I say to you, I hope you had a blessed Sabbath and be good to someone, love on someone, forgive someone. Please forgive someone or everyone that you can possibly forgive. Call someone and tell them, I want to just say I'm sorry. And I just want to go on in life, but I want to say I'm sorry. And don't say if, if things that I done, things that I said, I just want to say I'm sorry. Don't add to it. Don't take away. Just say I'm sorry. Okay. Sister Deborah will say to you, I love you, and I'm opening up this line as well for questions and answers. We need to unite, not in what men are saying, because they have no right. Their heart is not for Yah. So don't think they're going to get right. That's why Yah got those that he's calling to his bosom, that he already got predestined, because these men that's on this earth now, they've been messing up from the floor up from their forefathers. That's why he never said for a mother, because see, they don't get that part. It never was the women, but let them tell it. They're going to always say it because they've been wrong since Genesis. So I say unto you, shalom and shalom.